Have you ever stopped for a moment, perhaps in a quiet afternoon, and wondered just how much time you spend sitting each day? Maybe, like me, you find your favorite armchair more inviting than ever before. It's soft, it's familiar, and it feels like a gentle hug after a lifetime of busy days. But my friend, have you ever thought, could sitting too much now, in these golden years, be holding you back from something better? I'm Albert, and I'm glad you're here, sharing a cup of wisdom with me on Golden Age Wisdom. Today, we're talking about something remarkably simple, yet so important: why sitting too long after 70 can be harmful, and what you can do instead for a life that's not only longer, but richer and happier. Let's walk through this together, slowly, gently. You and me, two old friends having a heart-to-heart. We'll look at why those quiet sitting spells aren't always harmless, what a doctor might wish you knew, and what easy changes can make all the difference. I'll share some stories, some lessons learned the honest way, and a little encouragement from one seasoned soul to another. Now, why is this even worth talking about? Well, I've noticed, as I get older, my body has become a truthful companion. It doesn't fuss about small things, but it certainly lets me know when something needs my attention. Maybe that's the same for you. Perhaps you felt a little more stiffness in your knees, a bit of heaviness when standing up, or maybe a sense that your energy just isn't what it once was. Doctors have started to warn us that sitting too long, especially after 70, is something we can't just ignore. You see, it's like leaving a beautiful old car in the garage too many days. The parts that aren't used start to rust and seize up. But the good news, my friend, is that there's always something you can do to keep the engine humming, no matter how many miles are on the odometer. So, let's begin. Let's dive into why too much sitting can harm us at this stage, and just as importantly, what you can do instead. Section 1. The hidden cost of sitting. Some things in life are easy to see. A turned ankle, a scraped elbow, they're right there, plain as day. But some troubles sneak up on us quietly. That's how sitting, hour after hour, does its mischief. Doctors have learned that when we sit for too long, day after day, our bodies start to slow down inside. Our blood doesn't flow as freely. Muscles in our legs, those sturdy pillars that have supported us all these years, lose their strength. Even our hearts and minds suffer a bit. It may not show up right away, but over time it adds up, like leaves quietly collecting on a front porch until the door barely opens. I think about my old friend Harold. We played chess together every week for 40-odd years. When we retired, Harold would settle into his favorite recliner with the morning paper, hardly moving until noon. As months passed, he started mentioning how his back was tight and it was tough getting up. He just thought it was age, but his doctor said, "Harold, your body needs more moving, not less. The less you use it, the more it aches." And you know, Harold was surprised. He always thought rest was a friend, and it is. But, as the saying goes, even good things are best with balance. When we sit for long stretches, our bodies slowly forget the little things. Standing tall, steadying our feet, taking a deep breath. The muscles and joints, like old leather belts, stiffen and lose their give. Our blood moves slower, raising the risk for things like blood clots or swollen ankles. After 70, our bodies recover more slowly. And the last thing any of us need is extra burdens. So, the real harm isn't just the sore back or the sleepy legs. It's the quiet shrinking of all those abilities we've built up over a lifetime. The power to walk to the kitchen, tend the flowers, or dance with a grandchild at a wedding. Section 2. the mind and mood connection. Let me tell you about my neighbor, Ruth. Ruth has always had a smile for everyone and the brightest eyes on the street. But last winter, when the weather kept her indoors, she started feeling down, a bit lonely and blue. She told me, "Albert, I'm always in my chair. It's like the world has shrunk to these four walls." Turns out, she was onto something. Moving less doesn't just stiffen the body, it affects the mind too. Our hearts and minds are partners, hardwired to thrive with a little motion. Medical folks say that regular movement gets fresh blood flowing to the brain, sparking nerves and brightening mood. Sitting too much, on the other hand, can lead to sadness, foggy thinking, and yes, even memory troubles. When I was a boy, my mother used to say, "Idle hands, idle mind." I didn't understand back then. I sure do now. These days, when I've spent a long stretch reading or tinkering at the table, I feel cobwebs collecting in my mind. But all it takes is a walk around the block, saying hello to a cardinal, stretching my arms up to the sky, and everything feels a little sharper. Doctors say that regular movement can help fend off depression, ward off memory decline, and keep us engaged with life. It's not just about preventing harm, it's about keeping our spirits, our hopes, and our wits as lively as ever. Now, I'd like to pause here for a gentle moment, friend. If you've found a small way to bring a little more movement or joy to your day, would you share it with us? Maybe a morning stroll, a favorite tune you dance to, or even simple stretches before breakfast. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. We learn from each other, and sometimes the wisest tips come from friends just like you. Section 3. The Active Day Secret. Small movements make big differences. Now, don't let the doctor's warnings make you anxious or overwhelmed. You don't need to run marathons or sign up at the gym. The magic word is movement, not exercise. There's a world of difference. My cousin Bill, well into his 80s, has never set foot in a gym, but you'd never know it from his energy. His secret? He works movement into the ordinary patterns of his day. While waiting for his coffee to brew, he marches in place at the kitchen counter. When commercials pop up on TV, he stands up and folds the laundry. Twice a week, he sweeps the front porch, not just to tidy up, but as an excuse to stretch his back. Science and common sense both say this is the ticket. Sprinkle little movements throughout your day. Stand up and stretch every half hour. March in place during the news. Take the long way round to the mailbox. Tend a plant. Tap your toes to music. Even using your arms to dust or tidy up can keep those joints oiled. It's the everyday things. That's where the benefit hides. Movement doesn't need to make you sweat. It just needs to remind your body, gently and often, that it's still alive. When my son visits, he always says, "Dad, why don't you sit down?" I tell him, "I've sat enough lately. I want to put one foot in front of the other and see what the world will show me." That's the wisdom of age, you know. We find our own gentle way to stay moving. Now, if you're finding any value in our little chat today, I'd be tickled if you'd subscribe to Golden Age Wisdom. That way, we can keep sharing and learning together. You might even brighten the day of a friend just by sharing this video. Section 4. How to make moving easy. Bringing movement into your day. It all sounds good, doesn't it? But some mornings the bones just aren't willing. How can you bring more movement into your life when the weather is chilly, or the knees are sore, or energy comes and goes like the tides? Here's how I do it, and how so many of the wise souls I know manage. By turning little activities into invitations to move. Not grand gestures, not chores to dread, just gentle reminders. For instance, when you make your morning cup of tea, do a gentle stretch while the kettle boils. Reach up like you're picking apples from an old orchard tree. One arm, then the other. If you get your mail each day, try taking a few extra steps, maybe just along the driveway and back. If you have a pet, let their excitement inspire you. My friend Dorothy has a little terrier. That dog makes sure Dorothy gets more fresh air than anyone else I know. Inside your home, use the walls or a chair back for balance and do slow, careful heel raises. Stand on tiptoe, feel the calf muscles work, and then let your heels sink back. Or sway gently side to side while standing in front of your favorite window. Imagine the wind moving through tall grass. That's you, still growing, still moving with the breeze. Even if you need to use a walker or cane, remember, every small movement counts. Dancing in your chair, rolling your shoulders, wiggling your toes. These all keep the rust off, as my own father used to say. Make it pleasant. Put music on, tunes from your courting days or songs you've always liked. Let them lift you up, even for a few minutes. I keep a playlist of old Sinatra, Ella Fitzgerald, and yes, a bit of Elvis, and I move right along with every note. Section 5. The Gift of Purpose. Moving towards what matters. When I was a schoolboy, after chores, my father would tell me, "Albert, put your back into it. Every step should have a reason." At the time, I thought he meant work, but I believe he was talking about purpose. As we grow older, it's not only the body that hungers for movement, it's the heart that seeks meaning. When you tie movement to a purpose, sweeping the porch so the grandkids don't trip, watering plants that your neighbor loves to see, writing letters by hand, it lifts the task from drudgery to delight. I remember my friend Grace, who was famous in our church for always bringing fresh flowers to the altar. She'd walk twice around her garden every morning, picking the best blooms. She once told me, "I keep walking because I want Sunday to be beautiful for everyone. It's not about steps, it's about love." So ask yourself, what small things give your day joy or meaning? Use those as little sparks to move a bit more. Maybe it's tending a garden, feeding the birds, straightening family photographs. Every motion, no matter how small, can become a gift to someone you care about, even if that someone is you. Section 6. Rest, but not too much. The beauty of balance. Now, if you've lived a few decades, you know that rest and activity are partners, not enemies. Every garden needs a season of quiet after the harvest. Every body deserves its ease. But too much rest, like too much rain or sun, isn't always good for the crop. Sitting for long spells, day after day, can leave us restless, stiff, and weaker for the effort. The trick is balance. Treat your comfy chair like a cherished friend you visit, not a place you live. Give yourself permission to rest, and then gently encourage yourself to rise again, even just for a stroll around the living room. If you find yourself feeling guilty about not doing enough, remember, even the gentlest movement counts. No one's keeping score. Your goal is simply to keep the body and soul both tended, watered, and in bloom. I once heard a fellow from Tennessee say, "The rocking chair wasn't made for sleeping. It was made for watching the world go by, and then standing up to join it again." I think that's just about right. Let's pause again for a friendly question. Is there a daily movement or a small routine that lifts your spirits? Perhaps something you look forward to, even on a slow day? If so, share it in the comments below. We can all use good ideas, especially the simple ones. Section 7. When to speak with your doctor. Now, I always say, nothing beats a doctor's wisdom, especially when it comes to our own bodies. If you're feeling new aches, swollen ankles, shortness of breath, or anything troubling, don't brush it off as just old age. Sometimes it is, but sometimes it's your body asking for help. Bring up your sitting habits with your doctor at your next visit. Most are more than happy to talk about gentle ways to add movement, tailored to your abilities and needs. Don't be shy about talking over what's realistic for you. Maybe it's standing stretches, water exercises, or just a bit of daily walking. Remember, there's no medal for ignoring warning signs. The bravest thing we can do is ask for help when we need it, and listen to what our bodies are quietly saying. Section 8. Stretching, standing, and smiling. 3 keys for today. If all else fails, just remember 3 simple words: stretch, stand, smile. A stretch could be as small as reaching up and yawning while waiting for the toast to pop. Stand up every hour for a few minutes, even if it's just to adjust a lampshade or open a curtain. Smile whenever you remember. It softens the heart and invites friends closer. These don't take special clothes or equipment, only patience and a little self-kindness. Over the years, I've found it's not willpower, but cheerfulness and habit that carry us through the days. Make your movements a celebration of all your body still can do, and forgive it for what it can't. Section 9. The joys and surprises that come with moving. When we move a little more each day, not only do our bodies thank us, our lives often open up in unexpected ways. You might discover new friends on a walk through your neighborhood or spot a bird you've never seen before. Small actions can wake up old hobbies, like gardening, painting, or playing a game with the little ones. You might even sleep better or feel a spark of energy you've been missing. Dorothy told me how she started doing gentle stretches every afternoon to help her back. Now she looks forward to that time with her favorite big band radio on. She's made it her special me time and says it's turned her afternoons from slow to sweet. Life has a way of surprising us when we give it a tiny opening. Section 10. Simple suggestions for a day of movement. I want to leave you with a few easy, no-fuss ways to break up those sitting spells. Things anyone can do right at home. Set a gentle timer, maybe on your watch or phone, to remind yourself to stand up every 30 minutes, even if just for a stretch or a lap around the room. Keep a small glass of water nearby. Each time you finish it, take a walk to the kitchen for a refill. Keep a favorite object, like a photo or small book, on a high shelf. Use it as a reason to stretch your arms once a day. If you're watching TV, stand and march during commercials or practice rolling your shoulders. Plan a regular phone call with a friend where you both move together, even if it's just standing and chatting. Try window-watching walks. Pace the hall or look out different windows, noticing what's changed outside. And lastly, reward yourself for every bit of movement. Celebrate it for what it is, a little act of self-care, a kind gift for your future self. Closing thoughts. Well, my friend, I've taken enough of your afternoon. I hope our talk today has given you a gentle nudge, or maybe a little comfort, and a smile or two. Getting older is a grand adventure, but it does ask something of us. A bit of steady movement, a touch of self-forgiveness, and the courage to try. We can't get back every ability we once had, but we can treasure every step we still take. Remember, your body has served you faithfully for so many years. It's never too late to look after it, to keep it humming along, to greet each day with fresh hope and a spring in your step, even if it's just a tiny hop. So, let me ask you, what's one little habit or big idea that's helped you stay in motion? I'd love to hear your stories in the comments. Your wisdom may be just what someone else needs today. If you found this helpful, give us a gentle like or subscribe to Golden Age wisdom, not for me, but for the family we're building here. And if you know a friend who spends perhaps a little too much time in their favorite chair, why not share this video? Sometimes the kindest gift is a nudge in the right direction. Thank you for spending this time with me. May your days be filled with gentle movement, happy memories, and the warm company of those who care. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and keep moving however you can. This is Albert, wishing you the best, always.